Well. Do you remember this clip? This one down. Have you seen this clip again?
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
That's unfair. This is unfair. I'm so sorry. I can't talk enough.
Let me ask you.
I'm going to say that to my mom.
And the same cycle, repeats itself.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump.
Beyond betray, they used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
I don't ever want to hear that Trump is a racist, because what's happening right now is 1000% about color. He's targeting innocent Latinos and deporting them, tearing families apart, even deporting Americans. He's deported American children with cancer without their medical supplies. On top of that, he's deporting people that are actually in the legal process of becoming Americans. Meanwhile, on Monday, he is welcoming white, keyword white, South Africans into America. He's providing them housing, prepaid phones, weather appropriate clothing, groceries, house furnishings, all while also saying that Latinos are draining the economy. Are you, be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real, because these are the same Latinos that work multiple jobs. When have you seen a Latino immigrant begging on the street? Oh wait. Latino immigrants work multiple jobs, don't even qualify for the benefits that he falsely claims that they are abusing. Babe, they can't even get these benefits. They will sell you flowers, wash your car, wash your house, wash the dishes. They do everything. They don't qualify for these benefits. You think if they qualified for these benefits that they would have all these multiple jobs, babe? Oh my God, at this point, I just don't want to hear it. I feel like there's so many people that I know personally that have been gaslighting me, constantly saying, oh, Trump he's not racist, he loves Latinos. Then make it make sense. Make it make sense. And then the ACLU has already reported there has been so many US citizens that have been arrested and detained because they have been racially profiled. Yeah, for the color of their skin and for speaking Spanish. So please, I don't want to fucking hear it. It is about race. It is about color. If you're black and brown in America, you are targeted. And right now they're trying to get rid of habeas corpus, which is going to eliminate your right to resist arrest. So yeah, for all the Latinos that voted for Trump, babe, it's you or me next at the end of the day. This is about color. This is about preserving whiteness. This has always been that. And I don't think that we are at a point to blame the Latinos that voted for Trump anymore. I think it's just wake up. There's literally nothing that he's doing that's going to benefit you. Nothing. And I don't think that you need to wait for it to personally affect you for you to wake up. I really beg and implore you to do your own research and just wake up. This isn't right. This is so sad.
So this is for all of my Latinos for Trump, which I will never forgive you for putting this man back in office, especially because your roots, he was never going to pick you. Anyways, so remind me again how you guys were for a person that wanted to get all the people that didn't belong here or came here the wrong way. Why are we trying to fly back white South Africans? Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring in some white South Africans. If you don't get the message now, you guys are probably the type of people that your ex told you that they needed to focus on themselves and you believe them. That's the type of people that I believe you are, because this man was never going to pick you. He was never for you. And the fact that you fell for the BS is beyond me. This was never about getting criminals out. This was about getting people like them back in and back in control. So like that whole rhetoric, it was a lie. I don't know if you've noticed, because you guys have been very quiet. I haven't seen a single Latino for Trump come out and like defend their stance, because you have no stance. They want us out. We are the target, okay? And you were complicit in getting this man back into power. But it's fine. Like, we'll have a whole therapy session about it. But yeah, it's very clear what they're trying to do. And you know what? Like, you can still like make amends, but you have to start standing up. Like, you have to start speaking up. Just like you were so loud to defend this man, like, we need you now to step up and get united with us and back our community up and step up, because it's getting more radical out here. And they're only doing it step by step. They were never going to come out like in, like, you know, Star Wars Death Troopers style. No, they were going to do it piece by piece, and it's getting worse. So we need all the help that we can get. And you guys need to make this right.
Latinos for Trump. I'm gonna give you a little word of advice, because I just heard some stuff, and see, I don't think that y'all be thinking with y'all fool brain. So I was just talking with someone, and someone was like, I just had a Spanish speaking person call in, and they were going off on me and treating me so rude, saying they're gonna call back and complain, all because of a situation that was out of that representative or that person's hand, like just doing what they supposed to do, right? And they just like, do they not realize that I have their address, I have their car, I have their license plate number, I have people who are connected to them, I have if they have social security numbers or not, I have their phone number, I have other places that they're connected to. Do they not realize that if I wanted them to be harassed, I would have ICE agents go do a welfare check? And see, that's why I be like, y'all gotta chill. People in general, y'all gotta chill with how y'all treat people, because everybody's not a good person. Okay, everybody ain't out here just gonna take y'all mess sitting down. You get what I'm saying? You dig? So that's just a little bit of advice before you go off, before you pop it, before you disrespect a person. Think about how much control and power they really have. Okay, that's all.
Hello there. How are you doing today? Well, Trump commented, well, at least this is what I saw on a video, that Stephen Miller, okay, the guy that is managing the raids, the ICE raids, that he said that Trump said that if it was up to Miller, he would only leave 100 million people in the United States out of the 330 million people that the U.S. has. Right? So if Trump left it all up to Miller, but bless Trump, he's very benevolent, right? If he left it up to Stephen Miller, 230 million people will get kicked out of this country. 230 million people. Yeah, if you leave it up to Miller, and that's what the result is going to be. Okay? So now you know it's not about the criminals. And right now you think it's about illegal aliens. But no. So if you're a Latino for Trump, right? Or if you're African American for Trump, I want to tell you something. Stephen Miller has you next on the list. You're on the list. You are. Right? And most Caribbean, Hispanic Caribbeans, most of them are Trump voters. Right? Cubans, Venezuelans, they voted for Trump. And, well, you were first on the list, right? You can't come into the country no more, and you're getting kicked out. Okay? Puerto Ricans, you're U.S. citizens, but the truth is, if it were up to Trump, you'd be first on the list. Yeah. You would be first on the list if you were if it were up to Trump, right? But you're U.S. citizens. Thank God. Now, for all you Mexicanos out there, right? And all of you that say, oh, I'm not a Mexican, I'm a Tejano. I'm a Tejano, right? Look at my red, white, and blue. Yeah. You're a Tejano like a ton shades more than I am, okay? And guess what? You guys are going to be on the list next, right? And for all those in California too, that say, oh, I've been here 6 generations, 7 generations, and blah, blah, blah. I know most of you have married Anglo, okay? Just like that girl that was in the black pickup truck, she got out and started screaming at the protesters, go back to your country. The girl that was from Tepic, Nayarit, she was from Tepic, Nayarit, and you could see her, right? You could see her Cora descendants or Huichol descendants. But she's telling Mexicanos, go back to your country. Why? Because she married Anglo. Right? And a lot of the Trump supporters, they married Anglo, and that's why they're Trump supporters. But let me tell you something. They're truly never going to accept you. They're never going to accept you. I used to tell a co-worker at a warehouse where I used to work, right? I gave him a nickname. We're going to call him Nacho Libre. And I used to tell Nacho Libre, because he used to say, oh, I'm white, right? I'm not like you, I'm white. Oh, really, right? You're white? Your dad's from Los Mochis, and he's undocumented, but you think you're free to go? You don't give a damn about your dad, right? Because you think you're white. And I told him, they're never going to accept you. Never. I would tell him, first of all, you have to grow a really long, dirty beard. Okay? I used to tell him that because I knew he couldn't grow a beard. But he thought he was white. I tell him, you're not white. You think you're white. Okay? But once they find out that you are Mexican, they're never going to take you in. Never. You'll never be accepted, right? Okay? He had a European last name. That was the only thing that might save him. But he was Mexican. Well, so that's my message to you Latinos for Trump. They're never going to accept you. You are next on the list, okay? Mark my words. You can write it somewhere on the wall, somewhere in a calendar. You're next on the list, okay? And even Trump has said, Stephen Miller only wants to leave 100 million people.
I got a question to my Latinos for Trump. How y'all feel today? Do y'all see what's going on in California right now? Do y'all see how voting for Donald Trump didn't give y'all a single brownie point with white uneducated voters? How it did y'all no good. Wearing a MAGA hat, thinking that was going to put y'all above it all. Now, abuela, Dio, and tia, and mijo, and mija, everybody getting sent up out of here. Without an ounce of due process, right along with you. How y'all feel today? Honestly. Y'all did all that Latinos for Trump, we love Trump. Now you're up out of here. Y'all were the deciding factor in all of this. White, uneducated voters were going to vote for Trump no matter what. That was a lost cause. But you people, on the other hand, whole different ball game. This was an open book test, and y'all failed.
There's a message to Donald Trump. Hey, Trump, you see all these folks behind me, all hard-working Mexican Americans? I know we all look alike to you. but these folks were born and raised here and working hard to make our economy grow. And the migrants that sometimes come alongside and work with these folks, whether it's this industry or the meatpacking or any other, they're here because they know how to work. You've never worked a day in your life, and you don't know what it takes to build this country. So you can take your work site raids that you and Tom Holman want to do and go shove them up your ass. Because at the end of the day, our economy is driven by people like this and by migrants and by so many others that simply want to come out here and come into this country and do well for themselves and their families.
There are many ways that actually this particular community has actually been, let's say, betrayed by the current administrations. And I'm gonna highlight some of these points that actually Latinos actually feel that the same government, the same party, the same authority that they put in is actually betraying them. You've seen the No King campaign, you've seen the protest, you've seen mass deportation, you've seen even the governors and lawmakers actually coming out and speaking about the same issue. So I've actually broken down the points on actually the matters that we feel like these Latinos have been actually betrayed by the same system. So many of the ways that actually Latinos feel betrayed by Donald Trump, one is the mass deportation policies. So many Latinos voters supported Trump in 2024 expecting a focus on deporting criminals. So I don't know what criminals they were thinking that were being deported, but this administration but his administration has broadened immigration crackdown, so including a mass deportation and ending temporary protected status (TPS) for nearly 600,000 Venezuelans and over 100,000 Cubans, targeting non-criminals immigrants. This shift has hit communities hard, with families like Deborah Ray. There was a woman called Deborah Ray and Martin Vardes facing their son detention despite his legal status. So we all seen people actually coming and calling out ICE actually for deporting even American citizens or children. But anyway, there are people who argue that this maybe it was upon request by actually the parents to deport them with their kids, Another thing that these immigrants or the Latinos being betrayed by actually Donald Trump administration, the MAGA at large, is the fact that they expected economic actually liberation. They prioritized issues like inflation and jobs in 2024, but Trump Liberation Day, or the tariff Liberation Day, which was a 10% tariff for most imports, 145% tariff on Chinese imports, raised cost of living and reduced consumer confidence, and this led to shortage and disproportionately affecting Latinos communities. So remember, these are a community that actually depends, on check to check. They receive the check, they go deposit the check somewhere. But now these guys actually the cost of everything rose, and these guys feel like enough is enough. The polls shows that 60% of Latinos believe Trump isn't focused on lowering everyday costs, while 66% say tariff hurt their economic security. And in general, the tariff actually hurt every Americans. Even Donald Trump's friend, that is Elon Musk, or the Donald Trump ex, Elon Musk, he even also felt the pinch of tariffs, Then another thing is broken Another thing is broken campaign promise, So Trump outreach, like cultural tailored ads and promise to work with the Latinos, raise expectation of inclusive policies. So you all saw Trump's actually campaigning policy, how it was tailored to, convince to lure a certain community, but things are not actually coming out the same way his campaign posters or campaign ads were, So, actions like ending humanitarian parole programs and aggressive ICE raids in cities like Los Angeles have led supporters like Adele Sfero of the Venezuelan American caucus are feeling betrayed beyond measures. The racial and cultural tension that Trump's actually caused, Trump rhetorics, including past comments like calling Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage, and policies perceived as anti-Latinos, e.g. denaturalization threats, have alienated voters who expected respect for their communities. This is compounded by incidents like where VDJ J.D. Vance mock Latinos leaders. This has intensified the feeling of betrayal, and Latinos have actually come out, and showing how they are feeling about this current administration. We've seen videos, where they are calling out, Donald Trump, where they're calling out the government of America, So there has been public criticism from leaders, like the high-profile Latino Republicans, like the Florida State Senator Garcia, the co-founder of Latinas for Trump. So this is one of the women that was responsible, actually, for mobilizing, for calling the Latinos community to actually, come together. So Garcia, has publicly rejected Trump's deportation agenda, and calling it unacceptable and inhuman. On platforms like X, signaling a shift among influential supporters. The Latinos have actually, organized protests and demonstration. One of the largest or most recent demonstration is the No King Day. This is a demonstration in Los Angeles that took place just the other week, which seen thousands of Latinos rally against ICE raids and Trump immigration policies, reflecting community outrage. I think they were pinched beyond measures. They were like, it's called chewing more than what you can swallow. They have expressed their regret through polls, through comments, posts in X, through interviews in actually TV stations, individual voters like an identified woman at a Trump rally who told NPR she hates her vote due to the family deportation. Fears are vocalizing rumors. Social media posts on X also show Latinos removing Trump banners and expressing disillusionment or disillusionment. And there has been a shift in political support. Polls indicate Trump approval among the Latinos are dropped from actually 44% in the past election to 34% by May 2025, with independents and women particularly delusioned, you know. So some are splitting tickets, you know, supporting Democrats like Arizona Senator Ruben Gallego, who, while rejecting Trump's border agenda, you know, the sense of betrayal stems from unmet economic expectation and harsh immigration policies that hit close to home, with the Latinos are responding through protest, public criticism, and shifting political agenda. You know, though some of are actually still inside MAGA. So we want to see, you know, I've seen where the, you know, the legal Latinos actually kind of mocking those immigrants. And we all know that some of these Latinos, some of these legal Latinos, they're in America because some of their parents came to America illegally, you know. So tell me in the comment what you think about this video. What do you think about, you know, about a betrayal of Donald Trump to the Latinos community? Thank you.